Breaking news: staff from China's Three Gorges group risked their lives to leak simulation maps of a sudden dam collapse. One of them has already been arrested. This is very shocking. China's Three Gorges group has long been analyzing what would happen if the Three Gorges Dam collapsed in an instant. The internal file runs hundreds of pages long. Today, an insider leaked 4 of those simulation maps. First, let's look at the video the insider released. I took screenshots of the 4 simulation maps from that video. Now we will look at them one by one. The first map is titled Simulation of Sudden Dam Break at the Three Gorges Dam, Map of Flooded Areas 1 week later. To make it clearer, I asked AI to translate the image into English. Here is the English version. The simulated flood zone stretches from the Three Gorges Dam all the way to Shanghai. Water depth is divided into 5 levels, from more than 10 meters down to 0 to 0.5 meters. Blue shows the depth. Darker blue means deeper water. The flooded areas cover 6 provinces: Hunan, Hubei, Jiangxi, Anhui, Jiangsu, and Zhejiang, plus the city of Shanghai. The second map is Simulation of Sudden Dam Break at the Three Gorges Dam, Flood Flow Speed 1 week later. This simulation time is 168 hours after the dam breaks. Here is the English translation of that map. Flow speed is divided into 6 levels: greater than 10 meters per second, 5 to 10 meters per second, and so on, down to less than 0.1 meters per second. Red areas have the highest speed, followed by orange, green, and blue. The third map is Simulation of Sudden Dam Break at the Three Gorges Dam, Population Impacted Heat Map 1 week later. Darker color means more people affected. The simulation assumes the dam breaks completely in an instant, with the reservoir at 175 meters near normal storage level. Here is the English translation of that map. It states the total affected population is about 132 million. Severely affected people with flood depths of greater than 2 meters is about 63.2 million. Moderately affected people with flood depths 0.5 to 2 meters is 48.6 million. Mildly affected people with flood depths less than 0.5 meters is 16 million. These numbers are based on permanent residents in the affected areas using data from China's 2020 National Population Census. The fourth map is Simulation of Sudden Dam Break at the Three Gorges Dam, Traffic Interruption Map 1 week later. Here is the English translation of that map. Red lines mark complete interruptions. They include expressways interruption, about 3,400 kilometers completely cut. National and provincial roads interruption, nearly 9,900 kilometers completely cut. railway interruption about 2,300 kilometers completely cut, affected bridges 156, all completely interrupted, affected airports 18, 13 completely interrupted, 5 partially interrupted. Affected ports 17, 19 completely interrupted, 8 partially interrupted. I also asked AI to estimate the flood area based on the first map. ChatGPT's results: water deeper than 10 meters, about 232 square miles. 5 to 10 meters, about 500 square meters. 2 to 5 meters, about 927 square miles. Half to 2 meters, about 1,200 square miles. Less than half meters, about 1,000 square miles. Total, about 3,861 square miles. Total, about 3,900 square miles. Gorges result: deeper than 10 meters, about 2,000 square miles. 5 to 10 meters, about 3,750 square miles. 2 to 5 meters, about 5,000 square miles. Half to 2 meters, about 5,000 square miles. Less than half meter, about 3,000 square miles. Total, about 18,500 square miles. You can see that the two estimates differ a lot, so please treat these numbers only as a rough reference. Also, from this screenshot at the start of the video, we can see that simulation maps form a very thick stack. That means there are many such maps. The whistleblower only showed everyone the top 4. Now, how were these 4 maps leaked? Yesterday, that's July 21st, an X account named Luo Xiang posted a message claimed to become from a Three Gorges insider. The message said water is leaking from multiple locations near the base of the Three Gorges Dam. At some leakage points, the flow rate has reached 30 cubic meters per hour. Senior officials have already fled with their families, claiming that they are leaving for off-site study. Meanwhile, they are calling on us to remain at our posts, treating us as deposable. Last year, 1.28 trillion yuan was allocated for water conservation projects, but the money was stripped away layer by layer. By the time it reached our unit, we were fortunate to receive even 10 or 20%. Officials still demanded bribes and other benefits. This is not a natural disaster. It is a man-made catastrophe. The deaths of 17,000 people in Henzhou are only the beginning. The collapse of the Three Gorges Dam is merely a matter of time. The death toll would increase exponentially, and at least 470 million people would be affected. Please note that this staff member said at least 470 million people would be affected. That is nearly 3.6 times the figure of 133 million shown on the earlier simulation map. The same message continued in Henzhou, Guangxi. More than 17,000 people died. Please now stand guard and block entry to the disaster area. It is to hide the truth. Higher-ups gave a hard order. No public opinion risk allowed. If rescue teams find piles of bodies, officials lose their jobs and face prison. Even rescue teams are kept out. No advance warning of flood discharge. If they warn people, how do you house and feed them? That costs money. Local governments know this. Better not to warn. This is the unspoken truth. Dead people cause less trouble. It is inhumane, but it is the fact. Huge numbers of bodies in Hangzhou, burial risks, epidemic, and later hard evidence. They started open-air burning with fuel oil. Progress was too slow. Black smoke was too heavy. Now they use strong acid. Today, the same X account posted a word from another insider. The person who leaked yesterday has been arrested. His name is Wu Qiren. The matter is very serious. The inside ended. Relevant departments finished analysis of a 3 Gorges collapse long ago, hundreds of pages, 72-hour analysis, 1 week analysis, 3 months analysis, half-year analysis, and more. The data is detailed. As an internal staff member, I took some videos. More people deserve the right to know. He also said that Wu Qiren, who has been arrested, had shared many other stories inside the organization. For example, when the flood struck Hangzhou, one mother used a rope to tie herself to her 3 children. In the end, she and all 3 children died. He also said that at the bend where the floodwater flowed back, there were hundreds of bodies packed closely together. When he saw this, his legs went weak. There were not enough workers, so they used excavators to dig. But they then discovered that there were many more bodies under the water. I believe what these 2 insiders said is probably true. They must feel the danger is urgent. They could wait no longer, so they risked arrest to get the information out. As I have revealed before, I once worked from 1992 to 1997 in the Technology and Economic Department of the Development Research Center of the State Council of China. Our job was to advise the State Council on natural resources and the environment-related matters. Everyone in my department opposed building the 3 Gorges Dam. One colleague had been the CCP's former head Jiang Zeming's classmate when they started in the Soviet Union. It made no difference. The Chinese Communist Party never listens to experts. Politics and the interests of the powerful come first. Our department's views were ignored. That is why I finally resigned from an institution many people fight to enter. I could not stand the official-centered atmosphere there. Well, that's all for today. These 2 insiders risked their lives to send out the truth. Please do share it widely.